G'day guys and welcome back to your English Aussie. Today I'm going to take you through my final decisions for game week 34, including all the players I've got on my free hit draft, my captaincy decisions and my benching decisions. Let's get straight into it. So first up in my free hit are the goalkeepers, and I do have Kepa Arrizabalaga and Bernd Leno of Fulham. So the reason I've decided to go for Kepa over Bernd Leno is that I just feel that the Manchester United rotations are going to happen and they're going to come in big changes. And I think that's just going to make United even worse going forwards than they already are. They're going to heavily rotate for their Europa League game in midweek. And Bournemouth have been excellent defensively recently. Looking at their statistics, they have been defending well, minimising big chances for other teams. And I think Kepa in goal provides you a really nice option against a Manchester United team who are going to be heavily rotated. I do think Leno is probably the second best option against Southampton, obviously bottom of the league, have struggled to create a lot of chances. However, I do think the Fulham defence haven't been performing at their best of late. Southampton have started to look a little bit better, don't have any fresh injury concerns, playing a consistent team again this week and looking to sort of kick on and find a little bit of form and not end the season on a damp squib for them. That's my reason for going with Kepa in goal. Moving on to the defence, and I do have Ryan Sessegnon, Marc Cucurella, and Ryan Ait-Nouri as my starting defenders. Now, as we discussed, I do think that Southampton fixture is quite a nice fixture for Fulham. Despite the reservations I have around Southampton improving and Fulham's defence not being particularly great over the last sort of 4, 5, 6 weeks. However, they're still playing bottom of the league. Southampton are not a team that particularly score that many goals. And Ryan Sessegnon has been somebody who started playing on the right wing for Fulham of late. In the recent press conference, it was mentioned that Sessegnon was definitely an option for the right wing. Despite the fact that Wilson is back, I expect Sessegnon to start again on the right wing and Wilson to sort of come on off the bench. That does mean I think he probably is not going to be playing 90 minutes, but having a right winger for Fulham against bottom of the league with an option for a clean sheet as well as some attacking returns, I think that's too good to pass down for me. So Sessegnon makes it into my team. Now, Marc Cucurella for Chelsea, I think is another one that's an absolute lock for me in my side. Everton really struggle offensively, don't create a lot of chances. Don't create a lot of chances. Cucurella has been fantastic going forwards for Chelsea, getting into the box, has that potential to pick up a goal for them, scored a few goals this season for Chelsea, and maybe needed to break down a stubborn Everton defence. My final defender in the starting lineup is Ryan Ait-Nouri. Obviously at home against Leicester. Leicester have really struggled this year. Wolves have been on a fantastic run. I think they've won their previous 5 games in a row. Ait-Nouri obviously has those potentials for attacking returns up the wing. Leicester have been poor offensively. They have recently lost Mavididi to injury as well, who has been their brightest spark offensively, has been ruled out as of the latest news coming out of Leicester. Jamie Vardy probably will be starting, looking to move on at the end of the season, but Leicester's form has just been so poor. I think Ait-Nouri is another lock in my side. On the bench, I have Robinson and Mykolenko. To be honest, I think that Robinson would most likely have been Kirkes. But as you'll see, I do have 3 Bournemouth players in my side already, including Kepa in goal. So I just went for Robinson at the back against a bottom of the table Southampton. Mykolenko against Chelsea again. Chelsea have again sort of struggled for goals of late. Palmer, Jackson, both of them not having a fantastic spell at the moment. Everton have been super resolute defensively, have been fantastic against even the bigger teams, and Man City made it very difficult for these teams to score. So Mykolenko makes it onto my bench as my 5th defender. I'm quite confident in the defence. I do think these are really nice picks. There wasn't really too many others that I really considered for these roles. I would say, I know a lot of you do have Trent. My thoughts on him is that he's not going to start for Liverpool this week, so I would not be having Trent in my side. I do expect him to come on for at least 20 to 30 minutes, so I think he would be a waste of a pick for this week. Moving on to the midfield, and in my midfield, this has been a really difficult decision for me. I think this is where I've tossed up the most. I feel a lot more confident in my defence and my forward line. I did consider going for 5 in the midfield, but because I had so many struggles selecting the midfielders, I have ended up going for just the 4 with Jacob Murphy as first sub on my bench. Now, I think Harvey Barnes is a no-brainer in the side. I expect him to start again for Newcastle. Ipswich have got a lot of injuries, really sort of struggling at the moment, poor defensively, and as we saw from that recent Arsenal match, have been getting exposed down the wings. Harvey Barnes has 2 options: to go to the byline, cut the ball back. That's how Ipswich have been conceding quite a few goals, is on the cutbacks into Isak, hopefully in the box, or he has that option to cut inside, hit one of those Harvey Barnes-esque shots into the far corner. I think he's a really nice option this week, and definitely somebody that I want to have in my side. I then do have Luis Diaz and Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah obviously has got to be in your side. He is my captain, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But against Tottenham, again, who will be heavily rotated before their Europa League matchup against Bodo Glimt in midweek. Liverpool obviously won the reverse fixture 6-3 away from home. I expect Ange to not change his tactics and how he sets out and how he plays. And I do like Mo Salah in this game. He did get 2 goals and 2 assists in that reverse fixture and 21 points. Diaz also in the return fixture did get 2 goals for Liverpool. Now, Diaz is a potential risk. There has been a lot of rotation in Liverpool's first 11 of late. He has played Gakpo and Jota, Diaz and Gakpo, Diaz and Jota, as those sort of left wing and striker rotations. Arne Slot's obviously looking for something for Liverpool, who have been a little bit out of form offensively of late. I would say over those sort of last 4 or 5 games, they've really struggled to score those big numbers that we're used to, sort of those Liverpool teams scoring. I think they've been restricted to, 2 at most over the last 5 games. Salah's obviously been restricted out on that right wing. Diaz has been somebody who I think has been in good form, but I do think that rotation is always a risk for Liverpool as to who is going to play in the number 9 and on the left wing. My guess is that they start Diaz. He has probably the highest likelihood out of Gakpo, Jota and himself, and of course Núñez, of starting. And I think he will be really great against that Tottenham high line with his pace to run in behind. And that's why I've sort of gone for him in my team. He is one of the 2 guys that I couldn't decide if I wanted. And the other one is Justin Kluivert of Bournemouth. Again, the reasoning behind this was really the heavy rotation that Man United are going to see in order to prioritise their match against Bilbao in the Europa League in midweek. I expect Justin Kluivert to be on penalties as well for Bournemouth. There is obviously that small chance that Evan Nilsson takes them again. But I'm still currently thinking that Kluivert will most likely be on penalties. There is obviously that slight doubt there. Again, I think Bournemouth are nice going forward. Obviously haven't had the most fantastic run of forward form over the last few weeks. But I still think they're a good side. They're a good attacking side. They commit a lot of players forward and could cause a heavily rotated Man United side quite a few problems. So he rounds out the 4 in midfield. Jacob Murphy first on my bench now. This is a difficult one for me, and I think Diaz, Kluivert and Murphy have some potential to, Murphy find his way into the team and Diaz, Kluivert potentially move for somebody else, depending on what we hear in the final press conferences today. I do think Murphy's a fantastic option. I'm just not quite sure I wanted to go for the triple Newcastle attack against Ipswich. There is a small part of me that does want to do that and does think Newcastle will score quite a few goals. And I do think the winger spots are a real danger for Ipswich. With Leif Davis also missing out and being suspended, they will be having a makeshift left back as well that Murphy can potentially exploit. So I do think that he could also be a good option and might find his way into my starting lineup tomorrow on the deadline stream. So tune in for that if you want to make sure you've got all the latest news. Into the forward line, first up, as mentioned, triple Newcastle, we do have Alexander Isak. I think he's a really nice option this week and somebody that I've definitely considered for captaincy as well. Secondly, up top, I do have Mateus Cunha against Leicester. Cunha's back in the starting lineup as of last week for Pereira. He did play 90 minutes. He is their talisman player, and he is somebody that can be involved in both the assists and the build-up play and also the goals. And that's why he just sneaks it over Jorgen Strand Larsen of Wolves for me. He's able to have another route to able to get bonus points as well. Just with one goal, Cunha has that opportunity because he's involved in such a lot of the build-up play to get those 3 bonus points and to end up on perhaps a 9-pointer just from one goal. My final pick, and you may know if you have been listening closely, is Evan Nilsson of Bournemouth. Again, against that rotated Man United team, I think he's a fantastic option. I think he's probably the next best striker option for me. And he has been really looking good for Bournemouth over the last few weeks, getting into a lot of great positions, and I'm hopeful that he will be able to finish them off against Man United, probably with an Onana in goal, who doesn't like to save them that frequently. Sorry to United fans. That's my free hit team for this week. Please like the video if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel down below. Memberships are also active if you do want to support the channel as well. Thanks so much. Tune into my live stream tomorrow for all the latest press conference news, team news, and I will be, of course, reviewing all your teams, rating your teams. So post in the chat and we can go through and look at all those. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been your English Aussie, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.